I talk a lot on this channel about the Twilio ecosystem, but what really separates Signal House and Twilio? What separates the Twilio ecosystem from the Signal House ecosystem? And in today's video, we're going to be walking through exactly that, what the Twilio ecosystem is, how we differentiate ourselves, and why we think that we are the best partner for CRM systems, marketing platforms, and any software system that sends a message from an application to a person. Hi, my name's Will Craig. I'm a co-founder of a company called Signal House. We are a messaging provider, and like I mentioned earlier, we specialize in connectivity for marketing and CRM platforms, but we can power connectivity for any system that sends a message from an application to a person. Today, we specialize in 10-digit long code, or 10DLC. These are just the 10-digit numbers you're all familiar with, where the first 3 digits correspond to an area code in the United States, but we are also going to be adding toll-free, short code, and voice very, very soon. So without further ado, let's get into what the Twilio ecosystem is, what our ecosystem is, and how we differentiate ourselves. So first, let's talk about who each of these companies really sells to and who their customers are. Twilio is built for developers that work for independent software vendors, or ISVs. Signal House is also built for developers, but we also are built for the support and marketing teams within your company as well. One pain point that we had when we were under the Twilio ecosystem in a prior company that my co-founders actually co-founded was that the Twilio portal is really difficult to navigate. It's hard to find the data that you need. You have to actually engage with support to do a lot of it. Self-service is somewhat actually difficult unless you have the technical know how to build the tools to actually automate the process. And you can't really see all of the data that really truly matters to you and your business easily and simply within the Twilio ecosystem or the Twilio portal. So that's the first thing. We sell to both developers. So we have robust development API documentation, webhook documentation, and we make our APIs as simple to use as possible. And we actually abstract a lot of the information so you don't have to do it yourself. And so that's a key difference between us and Twilio. Twilio gives you all the keys and all the APIs to build everything yourself. We take a couple steps for you so that you don't have to do as much work. You could say that this is less configuration, but we also enable you to have as much configuration on the APIs where configuration matters. But when it comes to analytics, for example, we don't just give you the raw data, we give you an endpoint or an API for opt-out rate, for example, so that we abstract that so that you don't have to. A way that you can think about our platform is that we accelerate the process of integration, and then we also accelerate the day-to-day processes that you're doing within your business so that it's easier for you to find data, manage data, look in your subgroups, add new campaigns. All of that is simple and seamless and intuitive with the Signal House platform, whereas with Twilio, it's a little more manual and it can be a little bit more difficult to navigate the portal. So that's the first thing. The second thing, let's talk about the actual technical backend of both products. And let's talk about their pathway to the carriers. This is a really critically important thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and it is the actual pathway that each company or each messaging provider is going to take to actually get to the carriers. So generally, the structure is a messaging provider and then a direct connect aggregator, or DCA. There's only 4 of these DCAs in the United States. We are connected to 3 out of the 4, so we have redundancy with the DCAs. Twilio primarily uses one of the DCAs, and that DCA actually has to send their traffic through a different DCA specifically for T-Mobile. So the issue that you see on the Twilio side when it comes both to speed to lead as well as campaign review is that when they are sending their traffic, or every time you hit send on a Twilio messaging API, that message goes from whatever system you're using to Twilio, to a DCA, to another DCA, and then to the carriers. We are redundant. We're connected to 3 out of the 4 DCAs, and the one that we primarily use for 10DLC traffic is one that can review all of the campaigns in-house directly, and they can manage all of the messaging directly for all 3 carriers as well. So we have at most one hop between our platform and the carriers or the handset of the end user, essentially. So you see quicker message delivery time. So our messages are delivered within a second, whereas Twilio could take a little bit longer. And on the campaign review side of things, our review process is significantly more streamlined than the Twilio side. So again, when you look at the pathway to the carriers, Twilio first has to go through themselves and then another DCA, and then a DCA that is upstream of that DCA, and then to the carriers. Signal House, on the other hand, has a quick internal review. Our internal review, though, is just making sure that your campaign has a great chance of getting approved when we send it to our single DCA that then has the final approval. And we get these reviews done in-house on same day. So the day that you submit it, we will review it and let you know. It's our SLA, guaranteed 100%. And then once it hits our DCA, they have a 48-hour SLA that we actually pay for with them. So we have dedicated resources at the DCA to make sure that we have seamless submissions and seamless approvals upstream of us. Now, let's dig into just a tiny little bit as far as the actual review process. So at Twilio, they are going through a very compliant heavy time right now. And the reason for that is because they are acquiring a direct carrier connection. And when you're acquiring a direct carrier connection, any kind of bad traffic or untoward traffic can get you significantly in trouble in the sense that it can just kill the deal right then and there. So they're being extra careful with the campaigns and the messages that they're actually letting onto the platform. And so today, if you go to send a campaign through Twilio, the strictest review is going to be the Twilio review. And a lot of people are getting rejected at the Twilio level. Now, once you get approved at the Twilio level, you have to go to their upstream DCA, get reviewed, get approved there, and then the additional upstream DCA, get it reviewed and get approved there. So if you look at just normal timeframes, especially if you are a small to medium-sized business and you're unable to acquire direct vetting resources at Twilio or at any of the additional DCAs upstream of them, is that you're looking at 1 to 3 days for each of those reviews that could go up to 5 days. So you're looking at 9 to 15 days turnaround time. Whereas Signal House, we're going to review it, get you the updates that you need if you need any updates day one. And then the next day, we're sending it upstream. And then 48 hours later, you're going to get a response from the DCA. And again, we are reviewing these and making sure that they are approvable based on our conversations with the DCA. So it should be a fairly seamless process. The final thing that I wanted to share as it relates to the difference between our ecosystem and the Twilio ecosystem is actually our philosophy when it comes to having a customer-centric driven model. And so at Signal House, you're going to get a Slack channel where you're able to talk to our team directly. You are going to have dedicated support resources. You're going to have AI-driven support, AI-driven chat support. You're also going to have real human beings that you're able to talk to in a chat support. This is not a ticket that's created and you get an update on it once every 6 to 12 hours. This is conversational support from our support team. So we're offering that to you so that you are handheld throughout the entire process. Now, when it comes to campaign reviews, for example, again, Twilio is just going to reject it and let you know that the message flow was not approvable. We are going to call you up and we're going to send a video to you, walking you through each thing on the website that we would adjust or change and each thing on the campaign description that we would adjust or change. And we're not going to just outright reject it. We're going to review it and we're going to work with you same day to make sure that it is fully approvable so that we can get quick approvals. And that's kind of the final thing, is that we take a know your customer or KYC approach versus having a lot of strict controls on the back end. So we get to know you within the sales process and within the sign up process. So we already know about you and your business, who you work with, what kind of customers you have, and the types of traffic that you're actually going to be having on our network. We introduce our DCAs to you by the first campaign that you submit. We let them know what kind of business you are, what kind of customers you deal with, and any kind of specific nuances that there are within this review so that they can have context when they're reviewing your campaigns. Twilio, on the other hand, takes the approach that they have strict content filtering and also strict campaign review processes. So they don't take a proactive approach, they take a reactive approach in the sense that if you send traffic that is potentially a little bit gray from a use case perspective or whatever the case may be, or it might line up slightly too closely with some of the known spam messages that Twilio has within their LLMs and their AI sort of review processes, they'll just filter your messages out or they'll just reject your campaign. They don't take the time to get to know you and your business and then educate you on the process of the messaging ecosystem. We think education is the best thing. If we can teach you to fish, then you are going to be successful in your career long term, regardless of which messaging provider you are with. And at the end of the day, what matters the most is your business is successful and that you are using and leveraging the messaging ecosystem the best that you absolutely can. And that's what we want to do, and we want to help you do here at Signal House. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something. I hope you identified really the key differences between us and Twilio. And please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We release this kind of content 5 days a week where we really in-depthly talk about the messaging ecosystem. On Mondays, we actually do a building out in the open where we talk about the different features, functionality, and what we're actually working on when it comes to that week's development sprint. We also do videos about some upcoming exciting things that we're launching. So we're launching our Go High Level application in just a few weeks, and it's really, really exciting that you'll be able to use it very, very soon if you're using the Go High Level application. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and we will see you in the next one.